And we are live. Have to go live on some individual channels here. That's interesting.
I have my one channel. That's just one that I'm streaming to.
For anyways, it's the 9th of October 2025. This is our live stream, KiltzHealth live stream with Dr. Nelson, and today we have Coach Rebekah here, or Coach Becca.
Either one.
Put in the chat where you're watching from, please. I am going to have
Hi.
to.
It's Paw Beaters in the house.
All right. And let me go live on Instagram as well. Oh,
We
for
got
some
people from
reason.
Missouri, Virginia Beach. We got Florida in the house. Ooh, I bet you Florida is nice and warm. Ooh, Canada. I bet you it's cold. Maryland. I'm familiar with Maryland.
We get people from all over. Thank you for being here. By the way, announcement I have received the Dr. Nelson hats, some of them gray and black. And we're going to give away one of those. Put
Ooh.
hashtag KMT in the chat for a chance to win a Dr. Nelson hat. Uh, let's see. Okay.
Lewis asked a question. No, I'm not going to be going to Hack Your Health. I just couldn't make it work with my schedule this semester. I should be at Boca, though, in January.
Locar Boca. Okay.
Hmm. Are you going?
Most likely, it's here in Florida, number one, and so yeah, most likely.
Then I'll see you there. It'll be fun. I'll be working a booth, but it'll be good.
Okay, who are you going to be working with?
I will be with American Ketone. It's a
Okay.
very small company. That's the goal, anyway.
That is not the D'Agostino's company,
No,
huh?
it's a different company. I
All
think
right.
Low Carb Boca is from the Society of Metabolic Health Practitioners that put that one on.
Yeah, Doug Reynolds is the head of both Low Carb USA. It's basically the local chapter, the United States chapter, so to speak, of the Society of Metabolic Health Practitioners. They're separate entities, but they work together. They have the same head. He's the president of one and the CEO of the other. I don't know how. Actually, there is a video short, which is not that short. It's 7 minutes, I think, with him on Dr. Kill's channels. You should be able to find a recently uploaded video with Doc Reynolds explaining actually the difference uh, between the two that was in low carb San Diego.
Okay.
All right. So thank you for being here, Becca. For those that don't know you, and I see that most people here do, but just in case, go ahead and tell us who you are and your carnivore story, and we'll do the elevator pitched version of that, and then we can talk about some other stuff.
Okay.
But I'll let you go.
All right. Hi, my name is Rebekah, and I am a health coach, and I'm also a registered nurse. And I kind of got I kind of got into the carnivore keto space in 2018, trying to heal from autoimmune issues, and found a lot of success on the ketogenic diet, and stumbled into um, kind of fell into Dr. Barry's proper human diet group. And I think that was before it was called the PhD. Um, and I think it was just like Dr. Barry's health community. And that was in December of 2022. And I started the carnivore challenge in their group in January of 2023, maybe. Yeah, January 2023. And kind of just fell down the rabbit hole of carnivore and saw what it could do for people's health, and um, went to KetoCon, which is now Hack Your Health, and uh, saw Dr. Barry there and asked him if I should become a nurse practitioner. And he said, hell yeah. And told me just keep my head down and my mouth shut, which I rarely do, keep my mouth shut. But, then I just kind of fell into being a coach, and then working with Healing Humanity. And my whole family's on a proper human diet, except my husband, who's deployed right now. He can't be on one, and he feels like crap, by the way, just FYI. He went off of a proper human diet, and now he feels like crap. There's testimonial for you right there. And yeah, so my kids are autistic, and they're on a proper human diet, and yeah. And now I'm just in the middle of nurse practitioner school and just trying to keep my head above water.
All right. So,
It's my elevator pitch.
Lexi, I'm happy to see you here, Lexi. I hope you're doing well. Uh, for Pigs Fly Farm from Missouri or Missouri, depending how you pronounce it. They're both, many of the locals call it Missouri.
Missouri.
Yes. And Pie Eater, I haven't seen you in a while around here.
No, but I saw him in person.
Uh-huh. All right. So, have you ever been a vegetarian or vegan?
I don't think ever in my life. I've always eaten animal products. I can tell you that I was very meat light when I was eating a standard American diet, just because it seems like everything's processed carbs. So there was a point in time before I went keto that I was eating all the mac and cheese that I could shove in my face, and all the, cheese pizza I could shove in my face, and Hershey Gold bars and a 2-liter of Coke a day. So, so an unintentional vegetarian, I guess you would say. But it's like this, more like the vegetarian sad.
You mentioned your husband, and
Yep.
he's deployed right now. Thank him for his service from us.
Thank you.
Uh, and they, you know, all the military bases, all the what is it that they normally call the kitchen or the cafeteria?
The chow hall.
The chow hall. Okay. So the people running that,
Mhm.
they have to stay within the guidelines to
Correct.
feed the soldiers, right?
Correct.
And so it's basically whatever version they're following, whether the pyramid or the my plate or whatever. is like 3/4 of that or more is basically foods that turn into sugar.
Yes.
Whether it's a complex carbohydrate or a vegetable fruit, not and then they do give them meat, but I doubted that it's enough amount to supply what he would normally eat at home, right?
It's not. So it's interesting. So this is what's super interesting, and I'm really hoping the guidelines change, because at the D, it's a DFAC, or the Chow Hall, and it's mostly the carbs, the complex carbs. You're going to have your rices and your breads and your potatoes and your starchy veg, and then you're going to have your salad bars and maybe a mixed vegetable, and it's all going to be full of seed oils. And then you'll have either your chicken or maybe a tiny slice of beef, but it's just not enough. They usually have a burger station, so some people might be able to finagle their way. But I will say that from what I have heard, if you're in one of the more elite units, so a Ranger Battalion or a Special Forces, their chow halls actually have macros listed so that people can choose the foods based on the macros. I mean, that's a step in the right direction, but that should be for all of the military and not just, not just the elite forces, because they can't do everything.
All right. So, does he have a chance to buy often whatever he wants for him? And when he's deployed, is he confined to very little space for him?
I'm not sure what it is right now where he's at. So this is not a war zone that he's deployed to at the time.
So is he in an apartment?
No, I think they still have barracks type stuff, type situations. But to go eat, it is definitely, he said that there's no way that he can eat keto or not even paleo. I was like, could you at least eat paleo? And he's like, no. And he feels horrible. He's like, when I get home, I'm going back on it. I was like, yes, I've converted somebody. He was doing it just for solidarity with me.
Of course.
And now,
So you also, besides your husband at home, have a couple of kids. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I have a set of twins. They are now 18. I know I don't look old enough to have two 18-year-olds, but I have two 18-year-olds, and they are both high-functioning autism. And their stories are out there on the interwebs, on the YouTubes. And Jacob...
Well, I know Alia has interviewed them, right?
Both of them, yeah. Both of them are on there and on Alia's channel. And Jacob, Audrey went on it first. Audrey kind of went on keto with me in the beginning, and she did well. And then she fell off the wagon when my mom died. And I think we were in such a state of shock that I didn't force her to get back on it. But Jacob hadn't hit puberty, and we were getting a little bit worried because that does run in our family for delayed puberty in the boys. And I got worried. He was getting obese, and I was like, Jacob, we got to do something. And he reluctantly agreed to try to go keto. And that is funny. Yeah. That's a funny comment. So he reluctantly decided to go keto, and he's got food aversions. So we eventually landed on him eating a pound of bacon in the morning, approximately, a modified PB&J, and that's on egg white bread, and it's like no sugar added peanut butter and no sugar added fruit spread. And then about 2 to 3 pounds of chicken thighs. um, of the evenings. It was chicken wings, and we've switched to chicken thighs. And he does eat some mixed nuts, and now he has the occasional fruit, but for a long time he didn't eat any. And within 4 months of him going pretty strict keto, he hit puberty and shot up and went from being obese to not being obese, um, to being thin and being able to run cross country without a problem. And and his story is out there really on Alia's channel, and he kind of calls it magic, that keto is magic, you know. So that's a pretty cool story. Audrey is finally back on keto. She's leaning more towards carnivore right now because we're trying to work on some mental health issues with her. But for her ADHD, her ADHD is really good now, and I swear ketosis is like the thing for ADHD. And her autism, some of the things that she goes through, it's hard to tell what's her autism and what's her OCD, because she has obsessive compulsive disorder. And there's a lot of overlap in symptoms. So it's hard to tell which symptoms are being helped by keto. But, she's doing much better than what she would have if she wasn't on it. I think if she wasn't on it, that she wouldn't have graduated high school and gotten her diploma.
So this is new but old information.
Yep.
And I let me explain, because we may not have known as much several years ago about other brain activity improvements, but we've known about epilepsy specifically, which, if you remember our conversation earlier today,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very familiar with, because
Mm-hmm.
my brother had epilepsy,
Yeah.
the reason for me being a doctor. And
Mm-hmm.
we've known that a ketogenic diet was helpful. We've known it for over 100 years.
Yeah. Isn't it
But
crazy how long it's been?
yes,
It's
yes.
insane.
And we knew it benefited people with seizures. And as soon as
Mm-hmm.
we started having commercially available medications to treat epilepsy, it was relegated to last place. Basically, they still use it. It's not that they don't use it, by the way, they do use it,
Johns
only
Hopkins
on
still uses it. Yep.
refractory cases of
Yes.
epilepsy, meaning
Yes.
if nothing else has worked, no other pharmaceutical, then they'll try the ketogenic diet.
It
Shouldn't
doesn't
it
make
be the
sense.
other way around?
That's what I was going to say, because it's like, I really, going through my classes, it's so interesting because so many things, it's like, would you treat with a medication first? And it's like, why, when there are other things? And I think part of it is because people they defer lifestyle interventions. A lot of people don't want to do the hard things. They want the easy thing. They want to take the magic pill that fixes the problem, when a lot of these things just mask the issues. And
Yeah,
but
you're
when you're
absolutely
dealing with
correct.
children, parents need to get off their rears and be like, I buy the groceries. You are going to eat the food that I put on the table for you. But unfortunately, people think that is like, we should be asking for permission to change an infant's diaper. And so, yeah, that's a whole other soapbox.
uh, I have all adults in my house, but I'm also the one that usually goes hunting, like I call it, goes grocery shopping. And I'm also the cook, because uh, for the longest time, my wife, particularly before COVID, uh, she was the cook. And she cooks very well. It's not that she doesn't cook well or anything like that. But for the past 5 years, or a little bit longer probably, I've been the one that normally cooks at home. So when I'm home, I'm the cook. And so right now the choices are meat and meat. And I tell them they all know how to cook. So if you want something else, cook it yourself. You take care of it. So I buy eggs and meat, and sometimes I'm forced to buy some plants, but they
Now,
are.
I do want to clarify that I am not 100% carnivore. Just so people don't get the wrong impression, I am more ketovore. I know what plants I can eat that won't make me feel like crap. And I do enjoy some crunchy water with glyphosate. I buy organic, but it's lettuce. I do enjoy putting chicken on top of lettuce, even if it's just a little bit, to give it crunch.
Yeah.
I just do.
And
I know
listen,
I'll
if
get
you
made fun of by, I know that Rick's here and he always makes fun of anybody that eats plants, and that's okay. I love you, Rick.
and if you can tolerate it, there is nothing wrong with it. And you mentioned the group you used to be associated with prior,
Yeah.
and you know, I think if you can tolerate it, go ahead and do it. I am concentrated on trying to reverse disease. That's my main goal, to reverse the chronic metabolic problems that most people have, diabetes
Yeah.
being the number one on the list, and the pandemic levels numbers that we have on this planet is incredible.
It
More
is
people die,
astronomical.
more people die of diabetes. And when I say that, I talking about all the complications, because you rarely die of diabetes. You rarely have the patient that gets into a hypersmolar coma or ketoacidosis and
Yep.
dies, right?
No, they
Most
usually die
people
of kidney
die
or heart problems.
of the complications.
Yep.
And the complications include all kinds of cardiovascular problems, which
Yep.
turn into retinopathy and strokes and kidney failure and peripheral vascular disease and amputations. All that, all of them are complications of diabetes. You end up dying from the complications, and the
I think
numbers
that,
are astronomical and pandemic
mhm,
levels. Talk
yeah,
about a pandemic. That's a pandemic. Go ahead.
I would like to know the actual stats, and I know that they're out there. I just haven't had, I don't have time to look them up. But, I think that my dad died from diabetes complications, and his foot was gray. His leg died, and he was septic. He'd gone into septic shock, and that's a diabetes complication. And people, they tried to tell me at the VA that diabetes doesn't cause sepsis, and I was like, hold up, let me get you all the studies on that subject, because they didn't want to pay dad's death benefits. I'm like, here they are. And it's just piles upon piles. And it's like,
And it's a kind of a simple thing, because when you have diabetes, one of the things that happens is your immune system gets depressed. You don't heal as fast.
your wound
Uh,
healing is poor because circulation is poor. Then you get an
yeah.
infection in the wound that doesn't heal because the immune system sucks. Yeah.
So definitely that is
I
a
won that case,
complication of
by the
diabetes.
way. I won that case.
Uh, so not only nowadays, and I just finished today creating some material for the certification course,
Mm-hmm.
precisely on metabolic psychiatry, basically.
Mm. Okay.
And we have known now for a couple of years from the work of Dr. Christopher Palmer and Dr. Georgia Eid
Yep.
about the many benefits across all mental illnesses.
Yeah.
Mental illnesses and neurological illnesses are taught in school as separate systems, right? They
Yes,
are
for
the
some
same.
reason they
They're the
cut the
same
head
brain.
from the body.
Yeah, but they're the same brain,
Yep.
and it is not surprised that something that we knew helps for epilepsy also helps for anxiety, depression,
Mhm.
and all the mental illnesses, including serious diagnoses like schizophrenia,
Mhm.
bipolar illness, uh, hallucinations of all kinds. They're help, and they're help because if your ketones are higher, your brain uses that preferably.
Yep. I will say that I did have a conversation with Dr. David Diamond a couple of weekends ago. Do you know who Dr. David Diamond is? Okay.
Yes, and I know he was at for
He
better
was
health.
Yeah, he was
For
at Low Carb for Better Health,
okay, yeah,
and I got to sit down and talk to him, and we were talking about some of the mental health things and how ketogenic diets work for a lot of mental health issues. There's one mental health issue that I have seen that so far there's not been anybody I can find, and if anybody's watching that has this condition that has received relief from ketogenic diets, please contact me. I want to talk to you. Um, and that is obsessive compulsive disorder. That's the one I haven't seen. I think is is he frozen? Did he go away? I think we lost Dr. Nelson. He did. Yeah, he froze. Yeah. So yeah, he's gone. Okay, coach, take it away. Yeah, no. So Lexus, I would love to hear from you. Mm, I'm trying to figure out how to get my information to you. I got doxxed by somebody on the internet. There are 3 people that I know. A Paw Eater. Yes, please get them because so far I have not seen anybody so far. I know I'm on my own. I have a feeling he'll be back. Something probably happened. I guess I can text him and find out what happened. Oh, that's not nice, CB. Well, it isn't my show. I'll tell you what though, I can't control what's going on though. So I can leave, but it'll keep going, I think. Possibly. Let me see. Are you coming back? We'll see if he gets back to me. Dave, who's talking about Dave Mack? Oh, thank you, Cindy, for saying that I look good. It's been meeting after meeting today, so I had to at least look semi-presentable. I will say though, like we're trying with my daughter for her OCD, we're trying with my husband, and seeing if it helps with any of theirs. So far, it hasn't. Anybody got questions until he comes back? Thanks, Paw Beater. I appreciate that. The no duck food zone. Can you explain what you call duck food? I know you say it a lot. Is that anything that's a plant? Target prime rib. I always look good on camera. What I wear around the house and how I have my hair is two different things. Anything that isn't meat is considered duck food. Okay. So, Kat, there are some channels. So there's multiple channels being streamed to right now. One is mine and one is Kiltz's channel, KiltzHealth Live. And then there's a couple of other ones, I think, for Kiltz's Health. Oh, he lost power as soon as the router gets restarted. Thank you, Dr. Nelson. I was wondering what happened. Target Prime Rib. Do you have my email? You have Alia's email, don't you, Target Prime Rib? I just don't want to put my new email out there and then it literally get doxed again, because I got threatening calls and emails, and I had to shut down my Calendly link. I had to do all kinds of stuff because some butthole out there didn't like what I said online. I do have somebody tracking her and her accomplices right now. One of them fell for a phishing scam. I have connections. Yeah, but charger mode, like, Rick, can't you just pull yours off the thing and like let it buzz in somebody's ear and be busy? Yeah, Cindy, it was scary. They sent people to my house in North Carolina. They published my information online and sent people to my house. Kat, I do have a coaching business, but I am not taking clients at this moment because I'm actually a coach for Rivero. So I work with them part-time and then go to school full-time. You left me hanging.
Well, I lost power.
I understand.
It was a brownout, but the Wi-Fi router gets disconnected basically. So I have to wait for that. And as soon, almost about to come on, it happened again and again. So it's Florida, it's raining. We're the lightning capital of the world. So apologize for that. But my channel kept going. I was signed into my channel when I put the comment.
No, it was great. That means we didn't get completely cut off, and it was better for you to get back in.
I got cut off, but not you, not anybody else. So the other channels, Dr. Kiltz, multiple channels are still going, and even my channel is still going. Anyways, thank you very much. I had already warned you that if I go off, please keep talking.
I did. You did.
All right. So where were we?
I don't know.
So, brain, ketosis. So anything that's brain related definitely seems to be improved.
Most so far. I was talking to him. I said, anybody that can get in contact with me, or they can reach out to Dr. Nelson or Alia. If you give them your information on OCD, they can get it to my private email address. And so I don't put out my one and somebody docks me again.
Yep. Alia at drkiltz.com,
Mhm.
DOCTOR kiltz.com. Uh, all right, so I have some comments and questions. Who was asking about? Oh, Terry. Let's go through some of these. One of them you already answered, whether you're going to be at Hack Your Health or not, and you're not going to be.
Hmm. No, there's just no way. With my husband deployed and two adult autistic kiddos at home, I don't want to be that far away.
So low carb, Boca Paviter, Low Carb USA organizes twice a year an event. It's a 3 or 4 day event with all the speakers that you have heard and many you haven't heard. There's a wealth of low carb
Providers
experts.
mostly. It's usually a lot of doctors.
Yes.
I know one
Uh,
is not going to be there because she's due to give birth around that time. And so, which would be sad. I was hoping to see her, but
so,
she's going to have a baby. So that's an excuse.
so Dr. Kills wasn't aware of Low Carb USA, and the last time in Boca earlier this year, I I sort of almost didn't force him, but I kept bugging him. And he was in Florida, so he came. He liked it. He met Doug Reynolds, and he was a speaker at Low Carb San Diego. And probably we're going to be regulars on that Low Carb USA. Now, they started in San Diego, and then in the winter time, usually January, they do it in Boca. They do it in August in San Diego. They're going to be switching it up a little bit. So lowcarbusa.com is their website. Go ahead and check them out. And also the Society of Metabolic Health Practitioners.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a lot of information and studies. They have a resource page, a lot of free stuff. I'm a member of both. Low carb certified. I'm certified by the society as well as a metabolic health practitioner. So that's it. Poviter, are you close to Boca Raton?
You need to go. I think it's pricey though, especially if you're going to go to Hack Your Health and then a couple months later tack on low carb Boca. It's going to be pricey. Boca, I think, if you look at the schedule, is going to be super focused on a lot of technical science and medically based information compared to Hack Your Health is going to be that plus a lot of alternative therapies too. So I think it just depends on where you fall into, like what your preference is on information and how you like to absorb information. Because I'm in the medical field, I love listening to these doctors prattle on about this stuff. I love it.
Hack Your Health probably is the biggest
Yes, it's
of
huge.
that type. They're not exactly a carnivore event, but last year Hack Your Health carnivores overtook it because there were so many there, and
that was the year before too. Yeah.
Everybody that you listen to on YouTube is going to be there, and a lot of people that are not necessarily in YouTube are there in both events. They are both medical conference, so to speak, but they are open
to everybody,
to the public. And last year, Dr. Baker was there, Dr. Chafee was there, Dr. Boss was there, many of the good ones. And Low Carb USA in San Diego and Boca are the same.
I
They're
do
not as big.
believe Revero is going to have a booth, and I do believe that Healing Humanity is going to be there with a booth as well.
At Hack Your Health, yes.
Yes. So Revero will be there. If you don't know what Revero is, Dr. Sean Baker's startup company that he did, I was hired on with them in April, and I've been working part-time. I'm an independent contractor. I don't work for them. I work with them as an independent contractor. So I do not speak for Revero, FYI. I already sent him an email.
Let's go with the questions here.
Oh, that's cool. Kat, that is super cool that they had Sean O'Mara speaking on nutrition.
Yeah. And I haven't seen Sean O'Mara talking on these ones that I have been to, but I don't doubt that he's been. I'm going to ask. He's a very good speaker. We've had a couple of times already Dr. Ana Rosa, who is a medical doctor, a radiologist, and a specialist in body composition, actually.
Nice.
And she has learned a lot under Dr. Shanamara. She's starting a challenge. I posted it in our community. If you're not a member of our community, Kiltz Mighty Tribe, go to drkiltz.com and find your way to the Kiltz Mighty Tribe and sign up. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Yes, you're gonna have to give us your email address so you can have access to the free stuff, and a lot of good things in the community there. And we have also now a couple of paid tiers. Basically, they're getting other benefits, some books and merchandise. I'm gonna see if I can make a deal for the people who are in the course. And we've had, by the way, on the certification course, plenty of people who have taken it just for additional knowledge, not because they plan to be a health coach, but we've had plenty of health coaches already certified by other people who have taken the class as well. And it actually has been very helpful. And maybe we have another one of those taking our course starting in October 15th, right? Hint, hint. She's going to be, no, need to point this way. She's going to be in our course for whoever signed up already. All right. So,
because what's another course? Let's do another one. Let's see.
If you are not aware, Dr. Kiltz started a fast, 5 to 7 days. Last meal was on Sunday, and he's still fasting. I also did a 72-hour fast at the same, but I ate last night. So I'm restarting another 72 hours until Saturday night, because we're going to go out and eat for my daughter's birthday. So I had some salmon. I eat sashimi salmon, raw salmon basically. And I did that yesterday. So that's why the comment, some other people fasting, that's very good. All right.
Somebody had an interesting question.
Which one?
I have to go back and find it. Yours people are so talkative.
All right. So we have a comment, but I highlighted it because Tom wants you to be, he's starting to put out content. So please, I'll send you his.
We already connected. I got an email from him.
All right. Good.
No, so Papa Carnivore asked a question.
Yes.
way back.
Get into it.
Yeah. What are my thoughts? So my thoughts are that the like what we
Let me
should be
let me correct
eating.
let me correct this. Let me correct this. He's not adding back carbs, Peter. He has always said that from time to time he may have some honey with his ice cream. He may
Mhm,
have a French fry,
mhm,
cookie cake, or ice cream as a treat occasionally. He's never denied that. He's never, that's part of what he normally does.
mhm.
He even may have an alcoholic beverage once in a while. Okay. So he's not adding back carbs. What he has done mainly has been add a lot of more fish to the
Fish.
diet, which he didn't
Mhm.
eat fish.
Yep.
So his plan moving forward is to include a,
A lot of
a
fish.
broader variety of still carnivore foods.
Mhm.
If I if you understand that correctly. Now he did mention he had a piece of broccoli, a floret, this past week, and he when he was talking, there's a video where he's talking about that. He even mentioned potato, but if you have listened to him, and I know you have for a long time, so he has always mentioned he might have a French fries or two. And if he's telling you he had two French fries, he probably had more, right? But it's not a frequent occurrence. So I don't see that as a change in adding more carbs back.
Correct. And so my take. So I am because I'm working with Revere. I'm watching this happen on a medical perspective. This is a medically supervised therapeutic carbohydrate restriction. And what I have seen is carnivore. You're going to gasp. You're going to get mad. Somebody's probably going to ban me. That's fine. Carnivore is not the answer for every person. And I
I
have
I by the way, I agree with you.
I have somebody that was strict carnivore and she was like, I can't carnivore harder and things aren't working right. I'm like, girl, we got to add back some carbs. And we put her on a very paleo ish approach, like a very primal approach without grains. So no quinoa, no rice. But she immediately felt better. Her digestion got better. Things got better. It's very individualized. And I think that we need to be careful to not be dogmatic and tell people that you just need to carnivore harder because there's a few of us that have carnivored harder and we got sicker or it didn't work or it stopped working and we had to change things. And I've seen it work and fix people's metabolism. And by them just adding in some going keto, just by going keto ish, you know, I still maintain that a lot of people shouldn't eat dairy, you know, grains, legumes, sugars, a lot eating overabundance of fruits and vegetables. We don't need to be doing that. But it's not the piece of broccoli that's going to kill your heart.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
you mentioned uh, not only the broccoli, but basically some lower glycemic vegetables and fruits,
mhm.
even nuts. If you like nuts,
if
my
if they, if you
approach.
can tolerate it, if you can tolerate the nuts, some
Well,
people
that's where I was going. That's where I was going. If you can tolerate it, because I personally do not tolerate too many things that are not meat with my blood sugars. My blood sugars are under control, but the, if I try to eat something that is not strictly carnivore,
mhm,
they will start going up.
yeah.
And the other thing that you mentioned was dairy.
Yes.
Dairy. These are I'm gonna mention two carnivore foods, three
Okay.
that frequently give people problems,
Okay.
and that is dairy, because a lot of people have reactions and don't tolerate the dairy for whatever reasons. It could be because they're lactose intolerant, or they're having some low level uh, allergy. Okay, the histamine issues are basically allergic issues,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot of people that also have the same problem with eggs
Yep.
and with seafood in general, fish and shellfish. So if you tolerate any of those, have at it.
Yep.
But it could be the reason you're having problems.
Yes. I will
So
say that anybody with autoimmune, if you're still eating dairy and you're complaining about symptoms, you need to get rid of the dairy because it is highly inflammatory for people with, with autoimmune issues, or at least for most people.
yeah,
But also, I will say that if you're trying to lose weight, get rid of dairy because it's insulinogenic. So it spikes
yes,
your insulin and addictive. It actually gives you that. There's a bliss point to cheese. There's a bliss point, and I love that bliss point. And I can eat my weight in cheese, but I feel like crap the next day. Actually, I feel like crap for the next week. So I can do a little bit of parm, a little bit.
so anything derived from milk. I mean, everything starts
Mhm.
from the milk. What we normally use here in the United States, for the most part, is from cows, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so the milk that we have, goat, particularly in other countries, they use more goat and lamb, and any mammal. They are mammals because they produce milk for their
Mhm.
for the small uh, for the children. They each one has a different name for their. The cow is a calf and the goat is a kid. Anyways, they're meant to grow adults, from babies to adults. They're for babies, and at some point, and I've seen this because I had uncles that had uh, dairy cows growing up, and the cow at some point stops the calf from getting into the milk. Okay, trying to, and as a child, when we talk about humans, when they're used to getting that breast milk, they don't want to give it up. Okay, but there's a point where you stop. So milk is for babies. That I don't.
Yes.
I think this is not an arguable fact. It is for babies. We
Yes.
humans choose to have milk and everything that we can make out of milk.
Because
Whether
it
it's
tastes good.
because it tastes good, whether it's heavy cream, kefir, yogurt, cheeses. I love
Mhm.
it. I love cheese, but is it appropriate for adults? That is very
That's
very
the
very
controversial
debatable.
subject.
Yes, but I think the advice that you're giving is correct. If you're not tolerating it, that's probably the first thing that needs to go.
Yeah. Well, I think that a lot of people who come to me, they're like, I have to give up dairy. I'm like, well, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
but
interesting because, and I, you know, for 40 plus years, I've been seeing patients,
Mhm.
and I know that in this community, we like to blame the doctors for whatever they don't do
Mhm.
that, doesn't make them popular. But trust me, dealing with patients from the other side is not
They don't do
easy.
what they're supposed to either.
So plenty of patients. I could say more than half the patients I see in the medical practice they don't want to do the hard stuff.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And they are upfront about it. I don't want to do that.
Yep.
I've had people literally tell me, Doctor, just give me my prescription. I'm good. All right. Uh, if
Well,
that's
and
what you
that's the
want,
patient-centered care. The patient makes the decisions.
yeah,
We can't come and force things down your throat. I can't come smack the cake out of your hand. I cannot come do that. I cannot be driving with you and say, no, you are not going to pull into Dunkin' Donuts. I can't be there to do that. You come to me, I give suggestions, we make goals together, and then you have to do the hard work.
yeah. I mean, if you
I
don't get,
mean, I don't
and
know. I've
I'm
had some pretty good cake in my life, Rick. I've had some pretty good cake.
I'm not a cake person. However, you know, used to have all kinds of chocolate bars and anything that had peanuts in it, apple fritters, not the regular donuts, but the apple fritters were a temptation. They're no longer a temptation. If I stop at a gas station, I have to go in. I can smell the artificial ingredients on them, so it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
But
It-
that
Um,
that's how that's how I got like that.
yeah. Angela, no, I do not have your card. I cannot find it for the life of me. Please email Alia and get my information from Alia. I'm not posting it on I'm not getting doxxed again because I changed one of my emails. Um but yes, please, 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 I need to talk to you.
Did you mention you make yogurt?
I don't make yogurt.
Oh, okay. Peter is asking how to make your yogurt. I guess he's talking to someone else here.
Maybe.
Uh, Rick always has an interesting take. He was carnivore before he even
Knew
knew
what
about.
carnivore was. Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting story. Looking forward to meet you at Hack Your Health, Rick. We're gonna take a picture together because we now it's
Isn't
gonna
he
be past Halloween, by the way.
like over 6 foot tall?
He is 6'6", I believe,
Good God.
and he basically towers over me by a foot.
I'm 5'2 3/4". So I'm tiny.
All right, hashtag KMT. Let me bring this up. I'm gonna give. Oh, because of the power outage, I have to refresh this page. But we're giving away a gray Dr. Nelson hat. Just put hashtag KMT in the box, and whoever wins, they need to email Alia at drkiltz.com, and she will send it to you. So let me bring this up.
Rick, I do donuts, not eat them.
All right. So hashtag KMT.
There should have
Okay.
been more than 21 entries. I swear I've seen more than 21 fly by.
All right. Brian is often the first one waiting here at 5 a.m. in the morning. He's already put a comment into our live streams. Congratulations, Brian. Email Alia at drkiltz.com. Alia, Alia at doctor kiltz.com. Okay. And if you're not interested in the hat, you can ask for a shirt, a steak shirt. I will tell her to send you either one. Uh, you need to provide this. The hats are all one size, but the shirts, you need to provide her with your information so she can mail either, and with shirt size if you want a shirt. All right. Well, where can people find you if they want to talk to you?
They want to talk
And
to me. I am on Instagram as Keeping It Keto LLC. I'm obviously here on YouTube. And now talking to me is probably hard. Probably messaging me through Instagram is probably going to be the
that's
easiest
what I
way.
meant.
Yeah. I mean, you can go on my YouTube channel and make a comment and then I might see it. I'm not putting out a lot of content because my classes are really hard this semester. Really hard. So,
All righty. Well, thank you for being here, Rebekah.
absolutely.
And I'll be seeing you. Are you gonna be able
Sure.
to be at the October 15th, Wednesday, 3 to 5? If you're part of the course, people, our first class will be this coming Wednesday. Okay, tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Like always, Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. We have our morning live stream. Dr. Kills almost always is there, and I gotta bring this up because Papi, the Dairy Queen is my siren song. Uh, all right. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for
We'll
having
see
me.
you.
It was fun.
We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you next week at the first class of the our second round of certification classes. Okay. You have a great day, everyone, and eat meat.